From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, January the 29th, 2024. Intense fighting in Gaza continues with Israeli troops battling and eliminating terrorists. The IDF said today also raiding hundreds of terrorist infrastructures and Hamas positions, including headquarters and training complexes of Hamas, as well as a factory for the production of rockets and the offices of many senior Hamas officials, including, the IDF said, the office of Yahya Sinwar, the head of the terror organization. A barrage of rockets were fired from Gaza today towards central Israel, with sirens sounding in Tel Aviv and the surrounding cities of Rishon LeZion, Hulon, and Bat Yam, among others. There was damage reported, but no injuries as of the time of the taping of this newscast. An IDF soldier was seriously injured in a car ramming attack today, reportedly in Haifa. The IDF said that a terrorist carried out a ramming attack adjacent to an IDF base in northern Israel a short while ago. Following this, it said the terrorist exited his vehicle and tried to attack the IDF soldiers with an axe. The soldiers responded with live fire, and an IDF officer neutralized the terrorist. And in the West Bank, the IDF said a terrorist armed with a knife attempted to stab IDF soldiers who were guarding a military post in the area of Tekoa earlier today. The soldiers responded with live fire and neutralized the terrorist. No IDF injuries were reported. Talks aimed at a hostage release agreement are said to be showing signs of some potential. Israeli leaders have been meeting with officials from Qatar, Egypt, and the United States in Paris to try and reach a new deal that would see the release of the over 130 hostages still being held by terror group Hamas in Gaza, now for 115 days, abducted on October the 7th during the Hamas massacre. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office said last night that the intelligence summit in Europe, with the participation of the director of the Mossad, David Barnea, of the Israel Security Agency Director Ronen Bar, Major General in Reserve Nitzan Alon, the director of the CIA, the Prime Minister of Qatar, and the Egyptian Intelligence Minister, was defined as constructive, while also noting there are still significant gaps which the sides will continue to discuss at additional mutual meetings to be held this week. A number of countries have frozen their funding of UNRWA, the UN relief agency in Gaza, in response to accusations that some 12 of its members took part in the Hamas massacre on October the 7th. On Friday, UNRWA announced an investigation into those allegations and fired some of their employees who were accused. The United States said on Friday that it was extremely troubled by the allegations. The State Department saying that it has temporarily paused additional funding for UNRWA while we review these allegations, it said, noting that Secretary of State Antony Blinken spoke with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres to emphasize the necessity of a thorough and swift investigation of this matter, writing, "We welcome the decision to conduct such an investigation and Secretary General Guterres' pledge to take decisive action to respond should the allegations prove accurate. We also welcome the UN's announcement of a comprehensive and independent review of UNRWA." State Department saying there must be complete accountability for anyone who participated in the heinous attacks of October the 7th. Among the other countries who have also frozen support for UNRWA are Austria, Britain, Germany, Italy, Australia, Canada, France, and Japan. Well, in an effort to show unity and find hope in these difficult days, Broadway performers joined local clergy in New York for a special Shabbat service on Broadway. Shabbat on Broadway saw beloved performers like Tova Feldshuh, Adam Pascal, Deborah Messing, Adam Cantor, Julie Benko, and many more, who took the stage at the St. James Theater this past Saturday for an uplifting and inspiring mix of Broadway show tunes and Jewish prayer. Like Shoshana Bean's rendition of Etz Chaim Hi, it is a tree of life. Producers Amanda Lippitz and Henry Tisch wrote, "In this dark moment for Jews around the world, it felt important for us to create space for light within our own community." Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, January the 29th. At 7 o'clock, Abigail Pogrebin speaks to author Mitch Albom about his book, The Little Liar. At 7:30, Eric Goldman sits with Laura Bialis to talk about her documentary, Vishniac, about the life and work of one of the foremost photographers to capture pre-war Jewish life in Eastern Europe, Roman Vishniac. And then our L'chaim Marathon, honoring the late Mark S. Golub, continues at 8 o'clock with Yitzhak Perleman. At 9, the cast of the hit Israeli TV series Shtisel, and at 10:20, the late Rabbi Harold Kushner. And coming up next, expert analysis and updates on the state of the Israel-Hamas war from Jonathan Schanzer. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, January the 29th, 2024. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.